What's up guys, I'm Cole with Adrenaline Industries, and today we're doing some G-Wagon off-road testing. So we have two really rare G-Wagons here that we've built. Let me tell you a little bit about them. So these are G-Squared. So they're G-Wagons that from Mercedes were built even crazier than a normal G-Wagon. So these are actually, I almost said 1 of 300, but because we have two, this is actually 2 of 300 for these rare G-Squareds. G-Squareds have bigger wheels, bigger tires, portal axles, and more carbon fiber than they know what to do with. This one is pretty standard to what a G-Squared looks like, minus the fact that we sawzalled the whole roof off and turned it into a convertible. It has a soft top and it has tons of engine mods. And then this one has most obviously been modified. So this is our G-Squared pickup. So we stretched the wheelbase, has beadlock wheels, every rigid light we could throw at it, custom bumpers, our custom bed, and so it's totally different. So we also have some crazy long travel suspension. So our goal today is to test what it's like off-roading these two squareds, seeing what kind of a regular wheelbase one does with regular suspension versus our crazy pickup with crazy long travel suspension. So the first test for these G-Wagons is this hill climb. So right behind me is kind of a straight up hill climb, and then it winds its way up to these cell towers up here.
Far a piece of cake. It's not even slipping. You know, these big boulders, it's just like boogieing right over them. G-Wagons are so amazing. Oh, I love these things. And the suspension's good. Like, we're hitting big boulders, and that custom suspension we built for this with Fox is just sucking them up. Like, it's stiff enough you want it.
I'm even flying a drone and I haven't even thrown up yet. The suspension's so good.
This is smooth. Like, the head toss in a stock vehicle would be a lot worse. You know, when you're off-road, usually you're like swaying a lot harder. This thing didn't, seriously, like, I didn't even have to give it any juice to like momentum up through stuff. That just crawled. These things are beasts. This is hills we used to ride dirt bikes on years ago, and it was always like, you felt like you like slayed your dragon if you made it up these hills. They're nasty. I mean, G-Wagons with these big tires and 3 locking differentials, center, front, and rear, you know, they should walk up it, but it's loose and it's bouldery, and of course videos are never going to do it justice, but hopefully they do. Here we go. Okay, so the boys won't shut up. When they shut up, I'll start talking. We're at home though, we're under the power lines. That explains a lot. Okay, G-Squareds are rare. Take 2.
You're chopped, Unk. Shut up.
Not Unk spit, just Unk dumb, right? Or whatever.
Unk status.
Yeah.
Yo, Unk spitting over here.
Yeah. Okay, so we got a really rare G-Squared, but of course they're not rare enough, so we got to chop them up, do crazy stuff. I won't be able to even go over everything in a short amount of time, but what we did to make this more capable off-road, first thing is suspension. The G-Squareds have better than most suspension, but it's still not like ideal for fast speed off-road stuff. So we worked with Fox and developed and then did new mounts and everything and changed it to a dual stage. So that way you have a small spring to go through and then it hits the larger spring. That way on road, or if you're just going through gravel road slow speed, it mellows out all that stuff, but then you still have the big hits. If you hit some whooped or whatever, you go into the second stage. Coil over with reservoirs that are fully adjustable depending on, you know, how you want your rebound and stuff. So it's great. Euro-wise beadlock wheels, that makes it, right now we're only aired down to 18. Sometimes people actually air down too much. So just a perfect rule of thumb for when you're going like fast and slow off-road is you air down to about the size of your wheel. That's an 18-inch wheel, so we did 18. If I was doing some really, really nasty stuff or in snow, I'd go a lot lower, especially on a beadlock, but usually the size of your wheel is a pretty good starting place for most vehicles, even if they're not beadlocked. And then we did custom fenders. The carbon ones are great. They're just gaudy and they're kind of in the way and stuff. Euro-wise bumper with a come-up winch in it. We got more lights, you know, than the space shuttle uses to land. So lights everywhere from rigid. And then our rock sliders. So the way rock slide, these are custom from Rock Slide Engineering. Underneath it's all steel, so you can actually rub if you're coming over nasty stuff to protect the whole undercarriage and your rocker panels and stuff. You can rub, and then there's a step that comes out of the front side of it, which is pretty awesome. Anyway, there's a few of the mods that make this even better off-road than a standard G-Squared.
So now that we've done kind of the nasty rocky hill climbs that are actually behind us here, now it's time to test the articulation on these. So we're actually already pretty familiar with how the G-Squareds do off-road. We took a different one that we had years ago to Moab. We're very familiar with how well these things do. This was more for us today to figure out how the articulation and the suspension is different on the pickup that we built, because we really haven't had this thing off-road much. So now we're kind of in an area where we're gonna purposely really flex these things pretty hardcore, see if we can lift some wheels and see if a long travel aftermarket Fox suspension, see how that differs from a stock G-Squared. Well, that's the limit of his travel. All right, let's see how the G pickup does on that.
There we go. It's always a pucker factor when you're like big in the air. Yeah, woo-wee. Am I flexing?
Yeah.
Am I flexing a little bit? oh, you meant the tire. Oh, sorry, I thought you asked me to flex. You want the G-Wagon to flex.
Okay, that was way different. G pickup just ate that. Like, it was nothing. Whereas like this convertible, they're really capable. It probably would have been fine if I would have kept having Riker come forward. Eventually that tire would have settled again, but it definitely was up in the air. Whereas this thing, it just ate that. All right, now we found this little rock garden, so we're gonna see how these do articulating and making their way up these shelves, see if we hit any rock sliders or not.
Point of articulation is a lot of things. One is more travel to soften out the wheels. The other is to keep you from tipping over. See, that thing can go down and grab. And then another big reason in articulation is traction. So I'd forgotten, because I unlocked my front locker coming across and came up here, and I went through all this and got to the top and then realized I didn't even have my front locker engaged. The nice thing with articulation is with those tires and everything dropping down further is they're going to grab where if you don't have a lot of travel, they'll catch air and then they'll just free spin. And so so it really is nice. It's articulating. It's also to grab. So the goal is with articulation is that your tires really aren't going in the air. That you got to be pretty extreme to get them in the air, is you want them to drop down and grab and continue to propel you forward.
You're still good. You're gonna make it, Dad. Yeah, keep going. That thing is an absolute animal. For being stretched like the same size as a full-size truck, even longer, it's just the magic of portals and everything that goes into a G-Wagon. I can't believe, like, we were probably ended up being a couple inches, but that's a crazy, crazy thing for a wheelbase like that to do.
Nice and easy. You're good. Cleared by about an inch. Exhaust. Stay straight. Come my way a little bit. Good work.
Dude, that's crazy. For something that has a wheelbase shorter than like a Jeep Wrangler, and then a truck that's this longer wheelbase than a full-size truck, for them both to be within like 2 inches of clearance just shows like how crazy like the rock sliders and all the clearance we added to this pickup are, because I would have never expected it to be able to clear that.
So this truck just ate that for absolute breakfast. But this one takes the cake for sound for sure.
Show me what this thing looks like.
So I'm not sure why there's 2 on 2, but for some reason there's 4 exhausts sticking out of this G-Wagon.
I think it's kind of like an organ pipe. You know, organs, they had like this, the artist that made organs sound a certain way, because it also, but I think 700 horsepower helps a little too.
All right, Tag, rev this sucker up. Show me this one.
Yeah, how you like that?
That's pretty awesome.
All right, you guys want to hear this one or what?
The exhaust is actually built into the rock sliders on these ones on either side, which is pretty cool.
So I don't know if it's a fair. It still sounds rad until you're next to that one, but you're only like 450-ish horsepower or whatever, and you're splitting the exhaust 2 directions, so you're only getting half of what that other one's giving you.
Still pretty good.
Yeah, that's pretty good, but once we have them both next to each other, then it doesn't make it as cool.
We have a garage full of off-road vehicles and lots of stuff to test. This is only like 10 minutes from our house. So of the things that you've seen us do on social media, what other of our vehicles do you want to see us do off-road that we could test? My vote would be Sterrato. I don't know if we're actually gonna come up through a rock section on that, but maybe some G-Wagon Wolves or a Mitsubishi Pajero, a few of these other things. Let us know what you want to see next.